So the other day, the Teamsters president, Sean O'Brien, came out and made a controversial statement. And that statement is, hey, man, we're going to be neutral in this election. We're not going to endorse Trump. We're not going to endorse Kamala. We're not going to endorse any third-party people. We're just neutral. We're just staying out of it. Okay? Now, he gave a speech at the Republican National Convention. And some people like the speech. I could see why they would like the speech. But I did not like the speech, and I was against the speech because I found the speech very misleading. He was sort of going with this idea of like, hey, maybe there's a realignment. Maybe we can get some Republican politicians on our side. That's why I'm speaking here. I'm trying to build bridges. When the reality is, whatever he thought he was doing, the Republicans were using him. They were using him for a fake argument of, we are the ones who are representing workers. See, the Teamsters president came and speak to us. Clearly, we're open to labor. Clearly, we're good for workers. Clearly, we're the blue-collar class now. So really, he was being used as he thought, and I'm being kind to him here by even saying this, but perhaps in his mind, he thought, oh, maybe if I do this, I can build bridges and maybe get Republicans to be more pro-labor and help labor. If that was possible, then I would support what he did. But as I'm about to lay out for you, it is not possible, especially with Trump, who stabbed labor in the back at every turn. Now, he also wanted to speak at the DNC, and they apparently wouldn't give him a speaking slot. Okay. Now, I understand why the DNC wouldn't want to give him a speaking slot when they felt like, hey, this guy was just used by the Republicans for their shitty propaganda. But if I was running the DNC, I probably would have given him a speaking spot. And I think maybe that could have paid dividends when it came time for the actual endorsement. But nonetheless, he decided we're gonna stay neutral. So he goes on CNN, and Dana Bash here is gonna say, hey, I know you're staying neutral. How do you respond to this? And she lays out some of the anti-labor things that Trump has done. So let's watch. Then I have a lot to say about this. Here we go.
I want to ask a little bit more about that polling. If it is accurate, it would mean that almost 60% of your members do prefer former President Trump over Vice President Harris. But I just want to give a small sample of Donald Trump's record on union issues. He appointed Supreme Court justices that were part of major decisions going against unions. He appoints to the NLRB people who consistently rule against labor. He visited a non-union auto plant while the UAW was striking and encouraged union members to boycott their dues. And you, of course, remember last month when he was on with Elon Musk, praising Musk for firing striking workers, you called that economic terrorism. And, you do have, I understand that there is some split, but you do have people like James Kirby, who is the head of the Teamsters Black Caucus, saying that what you have done is chosen not to stand up to a bully and an anti-union candidate in not endorsing Kamala Harris.
Yeah, James Kirby, he represents a certain group that's not affiliated directly with the Teamsters Union. Look, I criticize President Trump. I'll criticize anybody that attacks labor, crosses picket lines, or whatever else. And this was not an endorsement for the Republican Party. This is a wake-up call that the system is broken. It's far too long that the Democratic Party, and I'm a Democrat, has just got their way. We need to hold them accountable. But this is an opportunity as well for both parties to take a hard look. The Democrats refocus and say something's wrong. We've got to recapture American workers. What do we need to do? And this is an opportunity for Republicans who claim they want to be the working party for American workers to prove that they can do that by supporting the PRO Act and passing the PRO Act and help develop a PRO Act.
Every Democrat except one voted for the PRO Act. Every Republican voted against the PRO Act. I'm going to hold back for just a sec. Let him finish. Then I'm going to give you why he's utterly full of shit.
Well, this whole thing is to work bipartisan and get things done for working people. And look, as far as schoolyard bullies go, my record's proven. We've had 227 strikes since my administration. We've won a historic contract, largest collective bargaining agreement because of our members, and we're going to continue to do that. People can call names. That's what's wrong with this whole process. People get so personal instead of trying to fix a problem and find some collaboration to effectuate some change that's needed in this country.
No. Look, here's the problem with what he's saying, right? Bro, they got to do stuff for us if they want us to endorse them, bro. It's very simple. And if you hear that and you don't know what's been done, I could see people going, well, yeah, of course, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. The problem is he's denying what has been done. Sorry, but on union issues, the Biden administration is not the Obama administration. The Biden administration is not the Bill Clinton administration. The Biden administration is totally different from those other more neoliberal Democrats. On union issues, this is not a difficult thing to say. So when you look at Biden, Kamala, and Tim Walz, here's what they represent. Either things they've done, things they voted on but didn't get passed, or things they are going to do, okay? 12 weeks paid family leave and sick leave. That's Tim Walz. Sectoral bargaining for nursing home workers. That's as pro-union as it gets. That's Tim Walz. Voted against outsourcing deals, Tim Walz. Ban non-competes. That's Tim Walz. Raise the minimum wage for small businesses, Tim Walz. Right to repair. That's Tim Walz. Protected construction workers from wage theft, Tim Walz. Massive Minnesota infrastructure bill, Tim Walz. Here's what Biden did. Project labor agreements for 200,000 construction workers. His NLRB has been the most pro-union in my lifetime and since like the New Deal era. That's Biden and Kamala brought us that. $15 minimum wage for federal contractors and employees. Added 800,000 manufacturing jobs. Again, that's Biden and Kamala. CHIPS Act, Biden and Kamala. Here, marched on the picket line. That's Biden. Most importantly, you ready for this? Saved the Teamsters pensions. Every single Democrat voted to save the Teamsters pensions. Every Republican voted against saving the Teamsters pensions. So let me be clear. In other words, here you actually have an administration that has done things and delivered for unions, only for this union leader to pretend like they didn't and act like, oh, I don't know, it's a 50-50, can't figure it out. Let me ask you a question. Why would Democratic politicians now continue to do things for you if they delivered for you and then you stab them in the back anyway? What incentive are you giving them to continue to do good things for you if they did good things for you and you stab them in the back anyway? Right? This is politics, right? If I deliver for you, you deliver for me. Well, they delivered for you. You did not deliver for them. There would have been massive cuts, up to 75% in some instances, for the pensions, for the Teamsters, if the Republicans got their way. But the Democrats saved the Teamsters pensions. Never mind the other things I listed there, which are brought to you by Tim Walz, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris. These are all things I limited myself to just the labor-involved things, giving you this list. Those things are massive. These are not like minor. Adding 800,000 manufacturing jobs, that's a major thing. The NLRB has been tremendous for unions. The project labor agreements for 200,000 construction workers, that's amazing. The CHIPS Act, amazing. Saving the Teamsters pensions that's as good as you can do to deliver for the Teamsters. So, and I haven't even told you the other side of the equation. Again, he asks, oh, I don't know, we're staying neutral. Okay, well, what have the Republicans said they want to do or are doing in red states or stuff Trump did? Cut overtime pay. Roll back child labor laws. Oppose the PRO Act. Every Republican was against the PRO Act. All the Democrats were for it except one, I believe, in the Senate. Oppose raising the minimum wage. Cut taxes for the rich and corporations. Under Trump, Mr. Anti-Outsourcing Man, he outsourced 200,000 manufacturing jobs. But most importantly, they had an anti-union, anti-worker NLRB, and they destroyed the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau as well, which relates to economics, but that's more about regular people being defrauded by big banks and financial institutions. And the CFPB gets in there and saves the day and returns money to the defrauded Americans. And Trump put a predatory payday lender at the head of that agency and destroyed the agency. And the Democrats have to build it back up when they get back in, as they did. So that's the problem. Even the example he gives, the PRO Act. Okay, every Democrat but one supported it, and every Republican was against it. Where's the hard part? Where's the hard part? Again, Democrats saved the Teamsters pensions, and Republicans were against saving the Teamsters pensions. Where's the hard part? You can't do this posture of like, maybe there's a realignment. Maybe Republicans will be part of the working class, when that was just proven incorrect. This isn't 2016 where, oh, maybe there's a chance Trump will do pro-union things and pro-worker things. I can see why somebody might think that in 2016 with some of the rhetoric he was using on the campaign trail, but it's no longer 2016. He governed for 4 years. Biden and Kamala governed for 4 years. And it's night and day. It's night and day. One was good for unions. One was fucking horrible for unions. So I can't, like, if there's one thing that I'm really, really getting sick and tired of, it's the people who want to pontificate on shit when they disregard or don't know any of the specifics of the record that already is there. Don't give me this bullshit about a potential realignment or maybe, you know, the Republicans will be more pro-working class and Democrats need to get it together and deliver. Don't say that shit if you're unfamiliar with all the things I just listed for you that Democrats did do for unions and Republicans did not do. In fact, they did the opposite. So that's why this is bullshit. That's why this is bullshit. He's a horrible leader. And I don't even think he realizes it because he's too stupid, but he just undermined the Teamsters moving into the future. Because now you have Democrats deliver for you and saved your fucking pensions, among many other things. And then you stab them in the back. Now what incentive do they have, by the way, to do anything for you? What incentive is there? You stab them in the back after they delivered for you. It's literally like textbook definition of betrayal. By the way, I should point out, Republicans are making this like it's a big victory. Trump is making it like it's a big victory. There are, ready for this, 40 unions that have endorsed Kamala and Tim Walz. 40. Because those unions went, oh, I see the record. This isn't hard. This isn't hard. They helped us. The other side didn't. Done. Where do I sign up? 40 endorsed Kamala and Tim Walz. 1 stayed neutral. And, you know, the idiots are cackling like hyenas. Oh, Republicans really for the working class now. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, and it all stems from ignorance or misinformation or not understanding politics or the record of what's actually happened, right? This is not the conversation of, hey, there's this Arab American group or this Palestinian American group, and they're saying we're not going to endorse Kamala. This is not that conversation. This is not that, because on that front, there's much more of a leg to stand on to say, hey, you're arming and funding the genocide. Our family members are dying. Sort of fuck you, right? But this is not that. This is on the question of unions. And on the question of unions, this is not a close issue. And anybody being honest will tell you that. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.